Hey guys, good afternoon. How are you guys doing today? Happy Monday. Today we're here at Icon Cosmetic Center with our lovely Dr. Porter today. We're going to be asking her some questions, you guys. And of course, any questions that you guys may have, you guys can put them in the chat. And of course, if you're looking forward to booking your free virtual consultation or your free in-person consultation with Dr. Porter, all you guys need to do is leave your information here. In my left bottom corner, you're going to see this blue folder where you can put your name, your phone number, and your email, whatever is the best way to get in contact with you guys. So let's get started with our questions, okay? So, Dr. Porter, how do you determine if someone is a good candidate for chin liposuction versus a neck lift?
So liposuction just removes fat. So if you just have like a little bit of fat or you want a little bit more definition, nothing that we do can give you like, you know, a super defined jawline. That's more so like fillers or something. But if you have extra skin or I don't like to call it this, but a lot of people know it as like a turkey neck, then that's more of a neck lift candidate or facelift.
Of course. Will chin liposuction improve my jawline definition, or do I need additional procedures adding to that, what you were saying?
Yeah, so it can help improve, but if you've never had a super defined, like squared off jawline, then like I don't, you probably won't have, you know, a super defined jaw after chin lipo. That would be more like fillers.
What type of anesthesia is typically used for chin lipo, and can it be done under local anesthesia?
Yeah, it can be done under general or local. It can be added on to a procedure. It can also be done under local anesthesia, which sounds kind of scary, but actually a lot of people do it under local. We give you good numbing medicine. We can give you medicine to relax too. So.
And you guys, look right above our heads right now. For only $1,500, you can get your chin lipo done with our lovely Dr. Porter under local anesthesia, you guys, okay? So, is there visceral fat in the area of the chin when fat is being taken out? Will I have some left over?
So there's deep fat. So there's subcutaneous fat, which is like what you can pinch here. And then there's deeper fat. So if you're underneath your platysma, that's like a thin muscle in your neck. When it starts to separate, some of that fat can be protruding. If your platysma is separating, then you probably need like a platysmoplasty or a neck lift. But usually the deep fat is something that we can't really get to because it's underneath the muscle.
Welcome to everyone that is joining the live right now, you guys. Any questions, any doubts, you guys can put them in the chat. I'll be reading them out so we can ask the doctor, okay? So, is it necessary to leave some fat after a chin liposuction?
Yeah, you always have to leave fat after some liposuction because that's how the skin is going to get its blood supply, and it protects from some of the irregularities that are like kind of created.
How long does it take for scars to fade after a breast lift?
Oh, a long time. I mean, it depends on the person. So if you have a scar, and it depends how the scar heals too. So if you scraped your knee or something, that's not really a good example, but if you have, you know, something that was sutured or sewn together, that'll kind of give you a good idea. There are caveats. Sometimes the breasts are a little bit more inflammatory when they're healing than other parts of the body. So they have, and from my experience, some of them can be like raised a little bit more. But like the final result of a scar will take 1 to 2 years after it's done healing. Sometimes they fade super fast, otherwise it takes a while.
It all depends on the person's body, yeah. Can a breast lift alone provide upper pool fullness, or will you recommend implants?
So it kind of depends on how much breast tissue you have. The safe answer is no, that at first it will, but then it's going to start to drift back to the original kind of shape of your breast, except for the nipple and the areola will be in a different position, so it's not like pointing down, or, you know, there will be less skin. But if you're looking for like that cleavage, the fullness, and again, it all depends on a person and how your cleavage kind of naturally is, but then you need an implant.
Does using cell savers shorten recovery time after surgery?
So I wouldn't say that it shortens recovery time. I would say that people tend to feel better, because what Cell Saver does is it takes the blood that your own blood that you're losing during the surgery and returns it back to you through like a filtration process. So people tend to feel maybe a little bit less sluggish and stuff afterwards.
So we have a question here from MP354C. How long should we keep our chin compressed after lipo, with 2 pink hearts?
So I ask for 3 days, for 72 hours that you're wearing that garment consistently, and then for as long as you'll give me, if you could wear it at night or when you're at your house or something. But I know that the chin is a tough area for people to keep compressed all the time, unless you're like living up north.
Why? Someone asked, why is anesthesia so scary? What is the difference between Cell Saver and a regular blood transfusion?
So Cell Saver is your own blood that you're losing. Again, it gets filtered and those red blood cells get returned back to you. A blood transfusion is somebody else's blood that you're getting.
So Cell Saver would be better, you guys, definitely. Can inner thigh lipo create a thigh gap?
That depends on your body habitus. If you're a little, you just gain, some people gain weight in the thighs, but you have thinner legs, then yeah. But you can never be too crazy with thigh lipo, because the skin will sag afterwards. So it's all in moderation.
How does upper back lipo differ from lower back lipo in terms of technique?
There is really no difference in technique. Usually for upper back lipo, it's just like the buffalo hump though, unless you have significant amount of fat there. But usually with the lipo 360 or back lipo, what people are thinking of, you get like the love handles and then up to kind of the armpits in the back, to the middle of the back.
Okay, great. I see somebody here ask, how much is thigh lipo? So what you're gonna be doing is that you're gonna leave your information right here in my left bottom corner in this blue folder. You're gonna put your name, your phone number, and your email. That way we can get in contact with you and we can share about all of the amazing specials and promotions that we have going on here at Icon Cosmetic Center. So if you want to know for specific prices, for a specific procedure, you have any questions in doubt or mind, you can put your information right here in this blue folder. Your name, your phone number, and your email, you guys, okay? So, the following question is, will thigh lipo make it harder to walk or sit during recovery?
Yeah, I mean, it is painful. It's liposuction, and then too, with lipo, we're always kind of disrupting your lymphatics, so you will have a little bit more like leg swelling than just like abdominal or back lipo. But people usually are up and walking, that same day. You should be up and walking that same day.
Of course, it's important for them to be walking every hour, 15 to 20 minutes, you would say, of course, right? Can upper back lipo get rid of buffalo humps?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, unless you have the bone like sitting there, but if it's fat, then yes.
Oh, this is so cute. Someone said Dr. Porter is so calm and cute.
Oh,
will arm liposuction improve that bat wings, or is surgery needed for excess skin?
For excess skin, you need surgery. You can do J-plasma of the arms if they're kind of borderline. We can do lipo with J-plasma. That can help a little bit with the skin contraction, about 50%. But if you have like just extra skin hanging, then you need the brachioplasty. Yeah.
Of course. How soon after arm liposuction can I lift weights or exercise?
After arm lipo, give yourself about 3 weeks because you're gonna have swelling and stuff at first, and then the added swelling kind of makes it uncomfortable for people. But there's no really like after 2 weeks, I would say that there's no real like weight restriction. You should just ease back into what you're doing.
Of course, of course. If I'm looking for the most cleavage and the most projection, would a high profile implant be the best choice?
The most cleavage and the most projection. So cleavage kind of depends on your natural. So some people who do have, you know, breasts that sit further apart and some are closer together, or if you have very little breast tissue, a lot of times they'll end up closer together. With the extra high profile is actually where you get the most projection. The regular high profile is usually what we put in everyone. And then that, you have to keep in mind that the bigger the implant is, the wider the size gets. So if you're somebody with a very narrow chest, maybe extra high profile if you're really desiring a bigger, but you can always go bigger after time. There is higher risk of putting in like super large implants in like a very tiny person.
Of course. So what the doctor is saying with that is that it's extremely important for you guys to always take in consideration what she will recommend to you, because she's always going to know the body anatomy best. She's always going to know how much can your breast really take. So it's all about, you know, it plays a part by your skin elasticity and what's your body type, and all of those things do play a matter when you're choosing a size with your doctor, okay, you guys? So I see a question here. Where are you located? We're located in Miami, Florida. This is the location in Doral. This is where Dr. Porter resides, okay, you guys? So let me see. Welcome to everyone joining the live. How are you guys? Good afternoon. Happy Monday. I hope everyone is having a lovely day. Any questions, any doubts, you guys can put them in the chat, okay? I'm going to be reading them out so Dr. Porter can answer them, okay, you guys? So, does using Cell Saver reduce swelling or bruising after surgery?
No. It just is going to give you back the blood that you lost to keep, you know, volume repleted. I don't think it's going to help with the bruising or swelling, really.
For chin lipo, how long do you need the faja? I'm in Orlando. I'm very interested. So I'm here to let you know that we offer free virtual consultations. So if I was you, I wouldn't walk. I would run to this blue folder right here, put your name, your phone number, and your email, so that way we can get in contact with you. So now going back to your question, for how long do you need the faja? For the chin.
Yeah, so ideally for 72 hours after surgery, you wear it 24/7. And then after that, if you could just give me like a few weeks with it on, like at night or something, or just if you're around the house. I understand that it's difficult for people to be wearing that. You're gonna have swelling regardless, so yeah.
So yeah, you guys, are there patients who are not good candidates for Cell Saver?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head, but we can always clarify that.
She said, on my way. Okay, love, let us know. What's the best clothes to wear after a thigh lipo during my healing?
Compression socks. So thigh lipo, if I don't know if we have them here, but there are fajas that are kind of like a sausage casing. So they start like at the ankles and go all the way up, and that's probably the best thing for you to wear, because then you're not going to get like the swelling at, like by the knees and like weird areas.
We have a question here for you, doctor, and it says, will the chin lipo help with the wrinkly skin?
No. That's more of like a neck lift or facelift.
Yeah, you guys.
That actually can make it worse.
Can inner thigh lipo help with chafing issues?
Chafing?
Yeah, chafing, sorry.
Yeah, it can. If it's going to be significant enough. Again, if you have a ton of, it's always a fine balance with arm and thigh lipo with how much to take out, because the skin can get looser from liposuction.
What's the ideal candidate for arm lipo versus arm lift?
Arm lipo, you just have extra fat, and your skin is good. I would love to give you an age range or something, but some people have great skin until they die. But if you notice like a lot of stretch marks and you kind of have like a lot of skin just like hanging, then that's probably more of a brachioplasty.
Can arm lipo results be maintained with weightlifting, or will it stretch the skin?
With weightlifting, no, you can definitely, weightlifting is encouraged, unless you gain a ton of weight or lose a ton of weight in a very quick amount of time, then you're not gonna get stretch marks. You should always diet on like a sustained way.
Just fill out the form. It's 1,500 for everything. I love her, right? I love her. Hello. Okay, you guys. So any questions like this, I'm glad that you left your information right here so that way a call consultant can get in contact with you guys, okay? You do not want to miss out on these amazing specials and promotions that we have going on here at Icon Cosmetic Center, especially with our lovely Dr. Porter, okay, you guys? So, as I was saying, will a breast lift fix asymmetry, or will I need additional procedures?
So that depends. If you have like one breast that has a lot of breast tissue and one that is like smaller, or like a congenital birth defect, you probably need an implant in one, or a reduction and a lift in one, to see the other. Again, if they're almost symmetric and they're not perfectly symmetric, they're never going to be perfectly symmetric. The thing I tell to all my patients is that your breasts are sisters, they're never going to be twins. So there's always going to be a little bit of asymmetry.
Of course. We have another time. Is taking less than a month away for my surgery. For my surgery with Dr. Porter. Oh, how exciting! How exciting! You're gonna look amazing, girl. Trust me, you chose the best. Okay? So we have a question here that says, how do you determine whether a patient needs an upper blepharoplasty, lower blepharoplasty, or both?
So an upper bleph is just for skin, like above the eyelid. So if you can like pinch some of the skin, or if you're realizing that when you're putting on makeup that you have a little bit it's harder for you to put mascara on, or something, that there's hooding.
Like hooding, yeah.
Hooding, then yes. A lot of people get it laterally first, then it's time to remove some of that extra skin, or if it's like really obscuring your vision or something. There is though such a thing called ptosis, where you don't really have extra skin, but the eyelid is like sits lower on your eyeball. That kind of requires a specialist, but that you actually need a muscle repair to do. And then for lower blepharoplasty, that is actually when like the bags, but don't get bags confused with dark circles. Dark circles, you can try like a whitening cream, but it's actually like the fat pads.
Oh yeah, so when it kind of looks like a little like inflamed over here, like kind of lifting up. Oh, okay, that's so good to know. I didn't even know. How do you prevent hollowing or an unnatural look after lower eyelid surgery?
So that's a lower bleph. So the hollowing, again, it's kind of like a fine line. You want to take most of the fat out, but not all of it, because otherwise you're going to end up with like the sunken in look. You can also do a little bit of fat grafting to the face, that kind of blends. Some people have a very harsh like ligament or transition, and that will help with that.
Oh, that's amazing. Can I add J plasma to my chin lipo? How can J plasma help me?
Yeah, you can. So J plasma increases skin contraction. Does it contract the skin 100%? No, it's about like a 50 to 60% contraction. So that can significantly help if you're like a little borderline. If you are at the point though where you have, you know, like the, again, turkey neck, I guess is the best way to think of it, or something, then that it's not going to help you.
How does genetics influence fat distribution in the arms?
I guess genetically, like if there's somebody in your family, it could. That's about all I got for you.
Okay, you guys, so If you guys have any questions or any doubts, right now will be the time to put them in the chat, you guys. And also, if you haven't yet, put your information in this blue folder right here, you guys, in my left bottom corner. Put your name, your phone number, and your email. That way we can get in contact with you guys, okay? So, how does skin type and ethnicity affect scarring and healing after a blepharoplasty?
So skin type, well, after any surgery, really. So super fair skin is usually going to bruise super easily. Everybody's going to have swelling. Everybody's going to have bruising. Whether you bruise for like 3 days versus 2 weeks, it's kind of your own, however you normally
natural
bruise.
reaction.
But usually very fair skinned people bruise like a peach. Yeah, it looks a lot more extensive versus sometimes Spanish or Latino patients don't have that. Less bruising. Black patients certainly probably have the least amount of bruising. Generally, Black, Asian, Hispanic people have skin that retracts better, but you can't say always. If you have a lot of stretch marks, I mean, it's all individual. So if you have a lot of stretch marks or something, then your skin is not likely to contract that well. If your skin feels like thinner, it's probably not going to contract that well. But some people have surprised me.
So you guys, thank you so much, Dr. Porter, for doing this live with us today. Thank you guys so much for all those lovely questions and all those nice comments. And for the people that already have their surgery booked with Dr. Porter, I am so happy for you. I'm so excited for you. She's going to leave you looking more beautiful, and I bet you already are. So sending you all the best positive vibes, you guys. And thank you so much for joining the live today. We'll see you back very soon. Bye.